The power of silence. In a world dominated by noise, constant notifications, endless conversations, and the pressure to fill every moment with sound, silence has become an overlooked treasure. Yet, silence is not merely the absence of noise. It is a profound tool for self-discovery, mental clarity, and deep emotional healing. Great thinkers, spiritual leaders, and successful individuals throughout history have understood that true wisdom often emerges not in speaking, but in the moments of quiet reflection. Science now supports what ancient traditions have long practiced. Silence can lower stress, enhance cognitive function, and even promote physical healing. Studies have shown that silent environments help reduce cortisol levels, improve heart health, and encourage brain growth. But beyond its scientific benefits, silence is a gateway to deeper self-awareness. In the stillness, we learn to listen to our own thoughts, to the unspoken emotions of others, and to the wisdom that lies beyond words. Yet, embracing silence is not always easy. In a society that equates talking with productivity and sound with progress, choosing silence can feel unnatural or even uncomfortable. However, by learning to cultivate silence in our daily lives, we open the door to inner peace, heightened intuition, and greater clarity in our personal and professional relationships. To understand this better, let's look at the tale of the wise monk and the restless seeker. A young man, burdened by stress and an overwhelming sense of confusion, traveled to a distant monastery seeking wisdom. He had heard of a great monk known for his profound insights and hoped to receive guidance. When he arrived, the monk welcomed him with a kind smile but said nothing. The young man, eager for answers, spoke endlessly about his struggles, his anxieties, his ambitions, and his desperate search for clarity. After an hour of talking, the young man grew frustrated. "Why won't you say anything? I came here for wisdom, not silence." The monk led him to a nearby lake. "Look into the water," he instructed. The young man obeyed, but the surface was disturbed by ripples, making it impossible to see his reflection clearly. The monk then motioned for him to wait in silence. As the young man grew still, the water settled, revealing a perfect mirror image of himself. "When the mind is noisy, clarity is impossible," the monk finally said. "Only in stillness can you see the truth." The young man understood. He left the monastery not with a list of answers, but with a new awareness. True wisdom is found not in constant action, but in the quiet space between thoughts. This story serves as a guiding lesson. Sometimes, the most profound solutions are not found in more words, but in the silent moments that allow us to truly listen. Historical and cultural perspectives on silence. Silence has been revered and practiced in different ways across history and cultures. In spiritual traditions, silence is often seen as a path to enlightenment, a sacred practice that leads to inner peace and wisdom. Monks in Buddhist monasteries take vows of silence to deepen their spiritual journey, while Christian mystics retreat into silence to hear the voice of God. In Hinduism, the practice of mauna, silence, is believed to help control the mind and bring self-realization. Culturally, silence holds different meanings. In Eastern cultures, silence is a sign of respect, wisdom, and self-discipline. In contrast, Western societies often associate silence with awkwardness or weakness, valuing verbal expression and assertiveness. However, in both settings, silence can be a powerful tool, whether for self-reflection, emotional strength, or strategic communication. Indigenous cultures also recognize the power of silence. Many Native American traditions teach that speaking less allows one to listen more, to nature, to others, and to inner wisdom. Silence is not emptiness. It is presence, awareness, and mindfulness. By understanding these cultural perspectives, we can begin to appreciate silence not as an absence of speech, but as a meaningful space where wisdom grows and transformation begins. Let's explore this through the tale of the silent warrior. There was once a skilled samurai named Hiroshi, known for his incredible strength. One day, a young warrior challenged him to a duel, hoping to prove himself. The young man insulted Hiroshi, mocked his honor, and tried to provoke him. But Hiroshi stood still, silent, and calm. Frustrated, the young warrior grew louder, hurling more insults. But Hiroshi remained unmoved. Eventually, the young man grew tired, his anger fading into embarrassment. A student watching the scene asked Hiroshi, "Master, why didn't you respond to his insults?" Hiroshi smiled and replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you refuse to accept it, who does it belong to?" "The giver," the student answered. "Exactly," said Hiroshi. "When someone offers you anger, hatred, or negativity, you do not have to accept it. Silence is a choice, and often it is the most powerful response." This story teaches us that silence is not weakness, it is strength. In moments of conflict, silence can disarm negativity, protect our peace, and give us control over our reactions. In many cultures, silence is a weapon of wisdom, showing that true power is not always in words, but in restraint. Psychological benefits of silence. Silence is more than just a break from noise. It is a powerful tool for mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall psychological well-being. In today's fast-paced world, our minds are constantly bombarded with information, leaving little room for deep thought and self-reflection. However, science has shown that moments of silence can help reduce stress, lower anxiety, and even improve brain function. Research indicates that silence stimulates neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells, particularly in the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and learning. Additionally, silence helps regulate emotions, providing a space for self-awareness and inner peace. Without silence, our minds remain overstimulated, making it harder to focus, process emotions, and cultivate meaningful insights. Silence also enhances creativity. Many of history's greatest thinkers, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, and Isaac Newton, embraced solitude and quiet contemplation as essential tools for innovation. When we step away from distractions and immerse ourselves in silence, we give our minds the freedom to explore new ideas and perspectives. By embracing silence in our daily lives, through meditation, mindful pauses, or simply disconnecting from digital noise, we can cultivate a healthier, more balanced mind. In stillness, we discover not only relief from stress, but also the wisdom that lies beneath the surface of our busy thoughts. To illustrate this, let's explore the tale of the two woodcutters. Once upon a time, two woodcutters, Kenji and Haru, competed to see who could cut down the most trees in a day. From sunrise to sunset, Kenji worked tirelessly, swinging his axe without stopping. Meanwhile, Haru took frequent breaks, sitting quietly in between. At the end of the day, Haru had cut down significantly more trees than Kenji. Stunned, Kenji asked, "How did you beat me when you took so many breaks?" Haru smiled and replied, "While I rested in silence, I was also sharpening my axe." Kenji realized his mistake. He had exhausted himself by working without pause, while Haru had used silence to regain energy and improve his efficiency. This story teaches an essential lesson. Silence is not wasted time. It is a chance to reset, reflect, and regain clarity. Just as a sharpened axe cuts more efficiently, a well-rested and focused mind is far more powerful than one constantly engaged in noise. When life feels overwhelming, remember to step back, embrace silence, and allow yourself to recharge. In the quiet moments, you will find the strength, creativity, and wisdom to move forward with greater purpose and clarity. Physical health benefits of silence. Silence doesn't just benefit the mind, it profoundly impacts physical health. In a world filled with constant noise, our bodies are often in a heightened state of stress. Scientific studies have shown that prolonged exposure to noise pollution increases the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and sleep disorders. However, silence has the opposite effect. It promotes healing and rejuvenation. Research indicates that just 2 minutes of complete silence can lower blood pressure and heart rate more effectively than listening to relaxing music. Silence also reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, helping the body to enter a state of deep relaxation. Furthermore, studies show that silence stimulates the brain's growth, specifically in the hippocampus, which plays a key role in memory, learning, and emotional regulation. Silence even enhances sleep quality. In the absence of disruptive noise, the nervous system can fully relax, allowing for deeper, more restorative sleep. Additionally, Mindful silence practices like meditation and deep breathing improve immune function, making the body more resilient to illnesses. By embracing moments of silence daily, whether through meditation, nature walks, or simply turning off distractions, we give our bodies a chance to reset, heal, and function at their best. Let's look at the tale of the healing hermit. In a small village, there was a wise hermit known for his extraordinary health and longevity. Villagers often sought his advice, hoping to discover his secret to vitality. One day, a young man approached him and asked, "How do you stay so strong and healthy while others grow weary?" The hermit smiled and led the young man to a quiet forest. They sat in complete silence for an hour. When the young man grew restless, the hermit finally spoke. "This is my medicine." Confused, the young man asked, "Silence? How can silence be a cure?" The hermit replied, "Noise drains energy. It keeps the mind in a constant state of tension, preventing the body from healing. But in silence, the heart slows, the breath deepens, and the body repairs itself. Just as the land needs seasons of rest to bear fruit, the body needs moments of stillness to renew its strength." The young man took the lesson to heart, making time for silence each day. Over time, he found himself healthier, more focused, and full of life. This story teaches us that silence is not just peaceful, it is powerful. By allowing moments of quiet in our lives, we give our bodies the chance to heal, grow, and thrive. Real-life stories, illustrating the power of silence. Silence has transformed the lives of many individuals, proving its power in fostering wisdom, emotional healing, and resilience. One of the most remarkable real-life examples is John Francis, the planet walker, who took a vow of silence for 17 years. Frustrated by the environmental destruction caused by oil spills, he decided to stop speaking to deepen his understanding of the world. Through silence, he developed profound listening skills, improved his relationships, and eventually earned a PhD. His journey revealed that silence is not just about withholding words, it is about truly hearing, feeling, and understanding life on a deeper level. Similarly, many individuals who have attended silent retreats report transformative experiences. In an age of constant digital distractions, these retreats offer a rare opportunity for self-discovery. People often realize that silence helps them process unresolved emotions, improve focus, and connect with their inner voice. Silence has also been used in high-stress professions, such as emergency responders and military personnel, who practice moments of stillness to maintain composure. These real-life cases highlight that silence is not a passive state, but an active practice that fosters mental strength, clarity, and emotional growth. Let's explore the tale of the silent fisherman. In a bustling town by the sea, there was a fisherman named Elias. Unlike the other fishermen, who chatted and shouted while casting their nets, Elias remained silent, watching the water with unwavering focus. One day, a young boy asked him, "Why don't you talk while fishing like the others?" Elias smiled and replied, "The ocean speaks, but only those who are silent can hear it." Curious, the boy sat beside him in silence. At first, he grew restless, but as the minutes passed, he started noticing things he had never observed before. The subtle movement of fish beneath the waves, the shift in the wind, and the rhythm of the tides. After a while, Elias cast his net and pulled in a great catch. The boy, amazed, asked, "How did you know when to throw the net?" Elias replied, "When you silence the noise, you can sense what others miss." This story teaches that silence is not emptiness, it is awareness. By quieting the mind and truly listening, we gain deeper insight into the world around us. In life, success often comes not from speaking or acting quickly, but from pausing, observing, and knowing when the right moment arrives. Silence in communication. Silence is one of the most powerful yet underrated tools in communication. While many believe that effective communication is about saying the right words, true mastery lies in knowing when to remain silent. In conversations, silence creates space for deeper listening, allowing us to understand others without rushing to respond. It helps us process emotions, show respect, and make wiser decisions. In active listening, silence enables us to absorb what is being said without interruption, leading to more meaningful conversations. Therapists, counselors, and great leaders often use silence to encourage others to open up. In conflicts, silence can be a tool for de-escalation, preventing unnecessary arguments and allowing emotions to settle before responding. Even in negotiations, skilled professionals understand that silence is a strategy. When used wisely, it can create discomfort in the other party, prompting them to reveal more or reconsider their stance. Silence is not about avoiding communication, it is about enhancing it. When we practice mindful silence, we become more present, aware, and intentional with our words. In a world that values constant speech, those who master silence gain clarity, wisdom, and the ability to connect with others on a deeper level. To illustrate this, let's explore the tale of the patient king. There was once a wise king known for settling disputes with fairness. One day, 2 villagers came before him, each accusing the other of stealing a precious jewel. They shouted, argued, and pleaded for justice. The king did not respond. Instead, he sat in silence, listening carefully. Minutes passed, and the villagers grew uncomfortable. Eventually, their anger subsided, and they started revealing details they hadn't before, exposing contradictions in their own stories. After a long silence, the king finally spoke. "The truth is often drowned in noise, but in silence it reveals itself." He then handed the jewel to its rightful owner, having uncovered the deception without saying much. The villagers left, amazed by the power of silence in uncovering the truth. This story teaches us that silence is not inaction, it is a strategy. In conversations, silence allows us to observe, think clearly, and respond with wisdom. Those who can sit in silence, rather than rushing to react, often see beyond the noise and make the best decisions. Whether in relationships, leadership, or conflicts, silence is not a weakness. It is a strength that allows us to communicate with clarity, intention, and deep understanding. Implementing silence in daily life. In today's fast-paced world, incorporating silence into our daily lives can seem challenging, but it is essential for mental clarity, emotional balance, and personal growth. Practicing silence doesn't mean avoiding conversations or withdrawing from life. It means creating intentional moments of quiet to reflect, recharge, and realign with our inner selves. One simple way to embrace silence is through mindful pauses, taking a few moments throughout the day to sit in stillness without distractions. This can be during morning meditation, a quiet walk in nature, or even a brief pause before responding in a conversation. Reducing background noise, such as turning off unnecessary digital notifications, also helps cultivate a more peaceful environment. Another powerful practice is silent observation, where we consciously listen to our surroundings and thoughts without reacting. This enhances self-awareness and helps us process emotions more effectively. Those struggling with stress or overwhelm, engaging in silent retreats or spending time in solitude can be transformative. Silence is not about isolation. It is about creating space for deeper understanding. By embracing silence in small, intentional ways, we cultivate greater focus, inner peace, and the ability to navigate life with wisdom and clarity. Let's explore the tale of the silent sculptor. In a busy town, there was a sculptor known for creating breathtaking statues. One day, a curious young boy watched as the sculptor worked in complete silence. The boy asked, "Why don't you play music or talk while you work?" The sculptor smiled and said, "Because silence helps me see what the stone is meant to become." The boy was puzzled, so the sculptor handed him a rough block of marble and said, "Sit with it in silence and see if you can imagine what it can be." The boy sat quietly. At first, he saw only a plain rock, but as the silence deepened, he started to notice the shape within, the possibilities hidden inside the stone. The sculptor then said, "In silence, we see what noise often hides. Just as I listened to the stone before sculpting, you must listen to your own heart before making choices in life." This story teaches that silence is not emptiness, it is insight. When we pause and embrace stillness, we uncover the wisdom and clarity needed to shape our lives intentionally. In silence, we don't just hear less, we see more. The impact of silence. Silence is not just an absence of noise, it is a profound force that nurtures the mind, body, and soul. In a world that values constant activity and conversation, we often overlook the power of stillness. Yet, as we have explored, Silence plays a crucial role in self-awareness, emotional intelligence, decision-making, creativity, and even physical health. It provides a space for reflection, enhances our communication skills, and allows us to connect with ourselves and others more deeply. By incorporating silence into our daily lives, through mindful pauses, deep listening, or moments of solitude, we unlock wisdom and clarity that cannot be found in noise. Silence teaches us patience, strengthens our ability to observe, and helps us navigate life with greater focus and inner peace. The world will always be filled with distractions, but true power lies in knowing when to step away from the noise and listen to the voice within. In silence, we find answers, heal wounds, and develop the courage to move forward with clarity and purpose. Silence is not empty, it is full of meaning. Those who embrace it will discover a source of strength that few truly understand. To conclude, let's reflect on the tale of the empty cup. A young scholar, eager for wisdom, visited an old Zen master. "Teach me everything you know," he demanded, speaking endlessly about his knowledge and achievements. The master, saying nothing, poured tea into the scholar's cup. He kept pouring until the tea overflowed, spilling onto the table. The scholar cried, "Stop! The cup is full!" The master smiled. "Like this cup, your mind is too full of noise and opinions. How can I teach you wisdom if you do not make space for it?" The scholar fell silent, realizing that true learning begins not with speaking, but with listening. This story teaches that silence is the key to growth. When we quiet our minds and let go of the need to fill every moment with words, we make room for deeper understanding. Just as a full cup cannot hold new tea, a noisy mind cannot receive wisdom. Embrace silence, not as emptiness, but as the foundation for clarity, knowledge, and transformation. In the quiet moments, life's greatest lessons reveal themselves. Embrace the power of silence. Silence is not just a break from noise. It is a gateway to clarity, wisdom, and inner peace. In a world filled with distractions, learning to embrace silence is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It strengthens your mind, improves your communication, and helps you navigate life with greater awareness and purpose. Now, it's your turn to take action. Start small. Dedicate just 5 minutes a day to complete silence, whether through meditation, a quiet walk, or simply sitting still. Observe the difference. Notice how your thoughts become clearer, your stress levels decrease, and your ability to listen improves. If you find it challenging, remind yourself that silence is not empty. It is where the deepest insights emerge. Make it a habit. Set boundaries on digital noise, pause before responding in conversations, and create moments of stillness throughout your day. Silence is a gift, and those who harness its power find strength, wisdom, and clarity that others miss. Will you be one of them? Take the first step today. Pause, breathe, and listen. Because in silence, the answers you seek are waiting to be heard. Stay connected. Subscribe for more insights. At Silent Lamp Channel, I believe you weren't born to stay broken. You were born to rise. I believe your past doesn't define you. Your power does. The fire within you is stronger than any setback, and it's time to unleash it. This is your moment. Own it. Rise. Subscribe if you believe your past isn't your limit, and the fire in you was born to rise.